Broadcast live.
Shout out to Reason, he's our #1 for the month of July. That Reason freestyle, I don't know how many people send me that shit when it dropped. I had little cousins going, yo, can you rap like this? Can you do this? Can you do that? And then I reply with the Sway freestyle, cause I'm an asshole. But yo, Reason body the fuck out of that thing. Really, really dope. You know, just, bro, delivery, you know, just, and the video was dope. Whoever shot that, man, salute. The video was really dope.
My people just went and slaughtered sheep out at Clifton Beach just to show these racists we got peace, but we ain't fucking weak. If you got a problem with some blacks, you should fucking leave. Basically, if you acting stupid, we can cause a scene. Talk is cheap, but I'm a cross between the type of black who's speaking rationally. Fuck with me, then I'ma have you hiding where you at for weeks. Actions speak louder than an empty bucket testing me. Actually, why that whack nigga try flex on me? Look at my chick, look at my crib, look at the shit on my wrist, look at the hits, look at the list, then you go look at your shit, like where do you live, where do you gig, my nigga, where is you been, show me your bitch, get under your dick, cause nobody know who she is.
Hey, what's up everybody, it's your boy, man, you know who it is, Reason HD on Twitter, Reason HD _ Instagram. Shout out to Do Me, we got verse of the month last month, for the month of July. I don't really think the homie had a choice. Yeah, we out here to break down the bars. This is Behind the Bars. Basically, the July freestyle is a combination of two things. Half of it was pretty much written around the December time, actually. And then the other half was what was written in around July. Just to give a bit of context to like the first 16 bars, I guess they address or they touch on two things that happened in December that are quite major. There was a slaughtering on Clifton Beach of a sheep, which is quite an interesting thing for me, quite a very interesting reality that manifested in South Africa. And I guess in the climate of where South Africa is at right now, I found that to be like a very shocking thing to happen, but a very interesting thing to kind of like zoom in on. And then at the same time, you know, I got attacked by a dead body. Came out of nowhere, just came out of the cemetery, and then decided, you know, he could throw some shots. So then we had to address the dead body as well. Around the time I'd wanted to drop the freestyle, but then I felt it wasn't in my control. I think I was falling part of a narrative that I never really wanted to be a part of, that I never wanted to push. So I decided to own my own narrative, and that was the reason why we saved a large part of what you hear now as a part of the July freestyle. So how it starts is, it says, my people just went and slaughtered sheep out at Clifton Beach just to show these racists we got peace, but we ain't fucking weak. If you got a problem with some blacks, you should fucking leave. Basically, if you acting stupid, we can cause a scene. Acting stupid, cause a scene. And for me, I think that's quite an obvious element. But the other part to the whole story was really just talking about how, to me, it sounds really, really wild that you would have Africans in Africa having to deal with racism and being dictated to where they go, which is always something that would spark some sort of aggression and some sort of reaction that may not be seen as rational, but always drives to a point, which I think kind of explains the type of person that I am, which now leads into the fact that I go on to say that I'm the type of black who's speaking rationally. Fuck with me, then I'ma have you hiding where you at for weeks, because actions speak louder than an empty bucket testing me. And I think that was just the whole attitude of those people who did that, you know? I don't necessarily think they really wanted to slaughter a goat. I didn't really think they really wanted to cleanse Clifton Beach, but they wanted to make a point. And so that kind of like justifies the point I was trying to make with the freestyle, to say I didn't really want to deal with this dead body. I didn't really want to address it, but here we go. And then it goes on to say, actually, why that whack nigga try flex on me? Look at my chick, look at my crib, look at the list, look at the hits, it goes on. Pretty much that whole 8 bars just talks about the range of things that you could look at within the catalog, the range of work, the range of efforts, the range of muscle that I've been putting behind my brand for me to wake up one day and have to deal with a dead body, you know, trying to come at me is like, it's quite fascinating, you know. But to be specific, it says to pose the question of finding out, like, where do you live? Where do you gig? My nigga, where is you big? Show me the bitch that's trying to get onto your dick, cause nobody know who she is. Around the time when I got attacked by a dead body, there was a bit of a reaction where we actually wanted to find the dead body just to find out what was going on and what the issue was. Not really to fight or anything, but just to kind of like address it personally. And I found, you know, this guy was a dead body because he never had gigs. Nobody knew where he lived. Nobody even knew his chick. Like, it was like I was dealing with someone that doesn't exist. And it was in that moment that I realized that I was being pulled into a conversation that was allowing me to make somebody exist. And just to be frank, I think, you know, ideally how I find myself in this mess with this dead body was because I came from an advisory point of view. I'd always wanted to be advising, you know, young people who are making mistakes and young people who are not doing things the right way. I may not necessarily be the guy that knows everything. I may not necessarily be the guy that knows how to do it all, but I've done enough in my career to be able to have a conversation with somebody and tell them not to do things a certain way. And there was certain things that this dead body was coming out in public saying that they were doing, and we just wanted to reach out and say, dude, this is not the way to go. Alas, he chose the route of clout chasing, and it kind of put me in a place where I realized that it was too late. It was too late in the sense that we are living in a world where being a rapper is quite hard. You know, it's quite difficult. For some people, I think they would even be told that it's quite stupid because the business is so fickle. The business is so fickle, it's so sensitive. And like, there's just a lot going on for you to want to just come out of nowhere and just think that you'll get to the top by doing all the wrong things when there's so many people out here who are putting so many efforts to actually build themselves and establish themselves as brand. When I was busy writing those parts, and I was going through that of trying to find this person, trying to look for this person. And I was like, okay, as an artist, you don't have gigs. As an artist, no one knows where you live. Hell, even as, in fact, not even as an artist, as a rapper, you don't have gigs. That's bad. As a rapper, no one knows where you are. That's bad. As a rapper, nobody knows even the chick that you fucking, like, that's bad. Anyway, it was just a dead body to me. But then it went on to actually like elaborate on the reason why I say this, because for me, this is where it like gets really deep, you know. It's when I explain that rappers are dying and all of you niggas are lying to beef up the timeline. Just for the sake of you shine and you lie to yourself like you're all in the limelight. But why try? When all of you flybys should figure that time flies. You did it for high fives and some nice tries. Well, let's get to the bye-byes. Essentially, for me, all the dead body ever got in his whole career was congratulations, that was amazing. That was some nice high fives. The dead body went and won a car that he had to sell because that's how bad and that's how hard it is to be a rapper. For me, that was an unavoidable conversation and an unavoidable situation because that was something that we could have discussed before he decided to go on the route that he took. And unfortunately, that is the demise, or that is the result of you not wanting to deal with things a certain way. There's just this pride and there's just this fake attitude that people have on like Twitter where they're just trying to be cool, trying to flex, trying to be nice, you know, all the time. When in actual fact, it's like, yo, bro, it's real out here. You know, rappers are dying. You know, rappers are dying in bad situations. Rappers are dying frustrated. Rappers are dying depressed. And for people to actually come out and try and act cool all the time, to me, it's just like, wow. You know, then I go on to say, this is a drive-by. If you aim at a nigga that's rhyming like I rhyme, your aiming is quite high, like mile high, while y'all niggas die high. I guess that's self-explanatory. You know, for me, I think if you're on the come up and some of us are kind of way up, your aiming is quite high. I don't want to diss anybody back. Well, I don't want to diss a dead body back. I don't want to address a dead body. But holistically, this freestyle ought to speak to everybody. It ought to speak to everybody who thinks timelines make you cool, to who thinks taking shots at people makes you cool, who thinks just coming off on somebody else makes you the illest. It doesn't. There's a business to it. There's a reality to it. There's livelihoods. You know, there's people to be taken care of. There's people that have to eat. There's houses that need to be paid off. There's a whole business behind it. And if you continue to play around with it, like it's something that you could just walk into and just be like, pow, let me take that guy out. Pow, let me take that guy out. It's like you're gonna be a dead body, like the dead body that we have right now. Looking at my rise, it is quite nice, but the shit is so Christ-like. Because just for the right price, them niggas will kill you for giving them lifelines. Same thing. I really jumped into this conversation because I was really trying to give somebody a lifeline. I was really trying to give this guy some options, give this guy a conversation, give this guy some advice. And the niggas will kill you for giving them lifelines. Guys will actually try to take you down because they think you're trying to be smarter than them. You know, guys will try to take you down because they think you're trying to be better than them. When in actual fact, you just really like, bro, I know what you're going through. It's not like a new thing. And that's really what that whole vibe was about. You know, I think Jesus came and he tried to save people and they killed him. Because they, you know, whether they were jealous or whether they were scared or whether they thought he was thinking that he's better, irrespective, people will kill you for giving them lifelines. And what do? Carry the cross. Let him hit us with the rocks, then pray to the Lord, Father, forgive them. They're dealing with something that's bigger than ever before. I mean, Father, forgive them. They thought they were winning the war, but now they're dealing with something that's bigger than ever before. And to me, the demise of your career is something that is more painful than having to have a rapper diss you, you know, or having to have somebody embarrass you. I think the realities of you crumbling and you struggling and losing the things that you hold dear to me, is more painful than having to go in a rap battle that you thought was gonna take you up, which is why I keep saying to people, I never wanted to entertain this conversation. I never wanted to pursue it because I knew where it was going. I know what it's about. We've done this before. We've dealt with this before. We've seen this plenty of times, and there is really, really no need for anybody to engage in a very negative way, which is why I find it's always better that things played out that they did, because now the conversation in this freestyle is not necessarily about a dead body, but it is about how artists can avoid putting themselves in places where they're playing themselves. Just don't knock down the people that are trying to give you advice. Don't fight back. Don't be aggressive. Be conversational. We all not too cool for this thing. Anybody can get it. Anybody can be a dead body. Anybody can fall from grace. Anybody can lose money. Anybody can suffer from not releasing good music and people not buying into it. Anybody cannot have gigs. Anybody can lose their house. Anybody can go through everything that this dead body went through. And that's just really what this whole conversation is about. But I end off that conversation by saying they're dealing with something that's bigger than ever before. The father of four, Offset, but then my Cardi B tall. I think that's just easy to understand. The next phase really was the phase that kind of like ended it off for me, because I think I was going through a wave where I was starting to realize the importance of why a reason should exist in the game. Unlock like Cussa Light, Flight Center said, here's a flight. Vroom said, dog, here's a ride. President said, you were nice. We did the inauguration. Timberland said, you were tight. That happened in front of everybody. Black Coffee said, you the guy. That happened in front of everybody. Swiss Beats said, fuck a price. Swiss Beats still ain't charged me for that beat on Lasagna. If anybody knows him, just ask him. I'm still willing to pay for it, but he ain't hollered. He never picked up his check, never sent an invoice, nothing. He just sent me the beats. I asked for some permission and some contractual things just so I can release the music. He agreed, he was down, never charged me. People said, Sway, do the right thing, put a real nigga on the mic. Y'all niggas weaker than my pull-out game. That is obviously the most obvious punchline in this whole entire song. Because my other head thinking twice. If you didn't get it, let it come again. I mean, we just had twins. That's my other head is thinking twice. If you didn't get it, play the whole freestyle again. Maybe it'll come back to you, or maybe it'll come again. I feel like that's a triple entendre. Huh? Is that triple, huh? My other head thinking twice. If you didn't get it, let it come again. It's thinking twice because we had twins. Thinking twice because weaker than my pull-out game. If you didn't get it, let it come again. Man, I might be sitting on 5 entendres. Anyway, I bring a gun into a pillow fight. That's some real shit. I brought a gun into a pillow fight. I did a nigga, then I get a life. I think that's like pretty straightforward. We did it, the dead body, and then we carried on with our lives. Double entendre as well. If you did a nigga, you get life. Anyway, you did a nigga, then we get a life. And then we sample Jacob Zuma. And that's the part that a lot of people don't really hear, actually, that last line. Not that many people catch that line. And then we sample Jacob Zuma. Damn, because Jacob Zuma was facing life, he was facing some charges, but we sampled him for this particular beat because I found him, or I found a sample of him, I found a video of him performing this, I don't know whether it's like a war cry of some sort, but it's like a Zulu traditional war cry of some sort that he was doing at our house. And I liked the rhythm a lot, and I got people to produce a beat out of it. So shout out to Audio, to Ninth Audio. I think he's out in Zim. Thank you very much for the beats. I really appreciate it. Yo, rappers out here, don't give props to the producers, man. Shout out to the producer. Yeah, we appreciate you. Might even catch you on the recipe. Anyway, yeah, that's just a roundup of the whole freestyle. It may have been long-winded or too sloppy with the breakdown, but literally that's like a nutshell of what we're talking about. And yeah, I really hope you see me here again for the August freestyle. It's gonna be something. Peace.
Broadcast live